What's up, guys, and welcome back to a new video on the Sorare Experience channel. And today I'm joined with Salah again. How are you doing, mate?
What's
Back
up?
from your
I'm
holiday?
very well, man. I'm very well. Just came back from holiday today as well, but you invited me you invited me for this video, and I was like, sure, let's do it, man. Really
Yeah,
excited to be on the
I know
channel again,
you
man.
you had a bit of a nightmare getting back from holiday, so you're probably
Bro,
tired.
it was a nightmare. Um, on paper, I should have been traveling for 8 hours. Um, I traveled almost double. I traveled like 15, 16 hours, but it is what it is. It is what it
Tired.
is.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
fair enough. At least you're back here now, and ready to go. And you've got wow, you probably have one of your most promising lineups come in whilst you've been away as well. So I don't really
Yeah,
want to get off topic too much on this video, but I did want to mention it. So where are you sat in All Star at the moment?
I'm currently ninth in All-Star Rare, but there are still a few games in the League Cup tonight, so I would say I would finish between like 10th and 15th. So I'm looking at a tier 2 Rare and a little bit of ETH as well, so I'm very excited. Um,
Yeah,
I haven't planned anything yet for like what I'm going to be doing with the reward, but I'm just very excited to see who I get, man. Honestly, because
yeah.
it's
I
a very
mean,
very sick score.
will this be your one of your best rewards to date?
I think it's gonna be my second best reward ever, so really excited, and
Yeah,
honestly I can't wait.
I saw yesterday. You were like sick at one point. I think you
Yeah,
went
and
up to
then
sixth at one point, and
yeah,
then
I was sick, and then Messi, and then yeah, and then I just dropped because
oh
of
yeah,
Messi. So yeah,
but
it
no,
is what it
the
is.
Bruges boys came in clutch for you. So,
Yeah, and
but,
honestly, I'm really happy with them because they have three sick games coming up as well, like very easy matchups. So hopefully they can do it again.
yeah, hopefully. But we're not here to talk about Bruges in today's video or our global all-star competitions and tournaments. We are here today to discuss some Premier League players because the Premier League is kicking off this weekend. Some Premier League players who could bang on Sorare next year. Me and Salah have both put 5 players forward each, and hopefully we haven't got the same players, which it could quite possibly work out that way. But we've basically both just chosen 5 players who we think are going to do really well on Sorare next year, and who could be decent players for you to pick up for your lineups next season as well. So, as always, if you do like the video, do leave a like and subscribe so you can see more. And make sure you do go sub to Salah. I'm going to leave a link to his YouTube in the description as well. Um, and how many subs are you on now? Are you almost
Honestly,
700,
I have no
surely?
idea. I have no idea. I haven't watched while being on holiday, so I have no clue. I think it's around 700 something, but
Nice,
I don't know
nice. So
the exact number.
let's get him to 1,000 because I've got that kind of influence. Um,
That
um,
would be nice, honestly.
so yeah, you never know. You never know. So the video might bang and it might get you to that 1,000 mark. So we'll
You
see.
never know.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, we'll swiftly get right into the players. Um, I'm going to let you go first as the guest,
Ooh.
and then a lot of pressure.
I'm
So who do you want to
I'm
put
really
forward as
debating
your player?
on who I should start with here, because I got two defenders and one of them I really like. So I will leave that for my second option. I will start off with Thiago Silva, who is actually one of my favorites for this season. I know he's old, he's 38, blah. Chelsea have bought loads and loads of defenders in, but honestly, he was 37 last year, and the scores this man dropped for a shitty Chelsea team who finished like 13th is a madness. And now
Yeah,
with a new coach, Pochettino, they are reinforcing the midfield is solid now with Enzo Fernandez. It's looking really good. A lot of that would have left Chelsea. I can see Thiago Silva really being a machine for one more year, and then he just either goes to Brazil or goes to somewhere else. But this year, Chelsea I think is gonna do amazing. He's gonna be a top player, I think, and he's
yeah,
only like 10 quid for the amount of green scores I am seeing currently on screen. It's a bargain.
yeah. So I mean, Chelsea are almost certainly going to be better than they were last year. I'd be
One
extremely
hundred
surprised if
percent.
they weren't. they've looked really good pre-season, and I mean, has Thiago Silva been playing a lot pre-season? I'm not sure. I haven't watched all of their games.
I think he hasn't been playing full games, but he has been playing.
I mean, obviously with Fofana out long term now, I
Yeah,
think
but he was all injured. I'm pretty sure.
yeah. So I mean, there's a good chance he's going to get some game time at least. And you can see here from the scores, like when he plays, like he very rarely drops a stinker. Like he's got no like
Exactly.
literally in the last year, he has no games where he scored less than 40. So you don't get those 35-point games, which you get from some stinkers. And it's predominantly 60 scores and above. And like he does have the capability to go and score 100, like
For sure. And
in a big game
I
if he
also
gets a
think,
decisive. Or
yeah, I also think the fact that Chelsea don't have European competitions this year as well. Like they just have focus on the league, which means Thiago Silva doesn't need to be rotated out or like be rested, which I think will give him more utility as well than last year. And
yeah,
another good thing is that because there are not a lot of games, he won't get injured easily. Like because I think the
yeah,
end of last season he was injured because loads and loads of games were coming in for Chelsea. He is old, which is the only downside of him. So without
yeah.
European football, it might be decent for him.
He's got some time to rest his old legs.
Exactly,
He's getting on a bit, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a really good shout. And like for what 10 quid, you can pick him up. Like he's
like a
like
guaranteed 60 for 10 quid.
you'd be really hard pushed. Like if you were going to buy this, but if you were going to buy him for like a semi-pro lineup, and you were to use him as just your one gold card, like I'd be extremely surprised if you didn't pick up more than 10 quid's worth of cards back.
For sure. I mean,
So I think
a fun fact
it's a good
actually,
option.
I have picked him up for my semi-pro actually, for my Premier League semi-pro team this year. I picked up a
Mm.
Thiago Silva because I was like, I think I picked him up for 8 quid even. Like before the hype came in, I was like, these scores for 8 quid, surely now this year he's gonna do even better. And
Yeah, like even
if
if
I just
you
pick the right comments, I should be winning cards here and there.
yeah. So I think of it like even if you look at it as like you've got one season left of using him, and then he's going to be dead. Like that tenner's gone.
Yeah,
You're probably going to win more than that back.
for sure.
So I think
I think so as
even
well.
though people would look at that as like a dead investment, like I
Hmm.
think is actually pretty smart. So I think that's a good shout and a good one to start off with. So um, I'll move into my first pick for this video, and we have an under 23 forward who
Ooh,
has just signed from to a Premier League club. Do you
I
know who I'm
think
going
I
to say?
know who it is. I
Do
think
you have him
it's
as
is it Jackson from also
no,
from Chelsea?
no?
No.
Musa Diaby at Aston
Oh,
Villa.
yeah. I looked at
So
him as well.
he's
Interesting.
currently around 30 quid. So he's a bit pricey, but like if you've watched him like pre-season, like he's been tearing it up for Villa, and
Yeah.
I just think they're going to come on leaps and bounds, and they play such a good, attractive brand of football. Unai Emery is a bit of a genius, and I think he's going to get a proper good tune out of Musa Diaby. And like you look at his scores at Leverkusen, who were not the best side, probably comparable to Aston Villa in the Bundesliga, and I can see him coming in like he's the type of player that comes to the Premier League and does well. Like he fits that profile of player in my opinion.
Honestly, I think it's a very interesting shout. I didn't know he was under 23. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy. Actually.
till the end of next
Um,
season under
yeah,
23.
and I'm pretty sure Villa have European midweeks as well, which is a bit more utility as well. And he is pretty fit. I went to a Leverkusen game last year and I watched him play. The guy is rapid. Like
Yeah, yeah,
one v
yeah.
one, like you're done. He just runs past you, he skips past you. Like his left foot is insane. He might be on pens as well at Villa. Because he was
I think
on pens at Leverkusen. So
I don't think they'd take him off Watkins. I
oh,
think
of course, yeah,
they want him bagging, but I think if you look at the side that Villa are building, like
it's
Diaby
good.
and Watkins, that link up could be insane.
Could be lethal.
They've
Yeah.
now got a really solid midfield behind them to sort of create chances, putting balls behind. So I don't know. It's a bit of a risk. Like anyone's a bit of a risk when they're coming to a
Yeah,
new
of
league.
course.
But to me, I don't see how it doesn't work out personally
I
because I
mean,
think Villa are just going to smash.
yeah, I think that as well, especially with Emery. If Emery can make Diaby like a clinical finisher, because he is known to miss a few big chances here and there. If he can learn and teach him to finish all the easy chances as well, it's gonna be
Yeah,
10 out of 10 signing. Uh,
yeah, definitely.
Very well scouted by Villa, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah, definitely. He's one of the first under 23 players that I held. I did sell him off, but I watched him quite a few times for Leverkusen. He was just so fun to watch. Like, he was so good,
Yeah,
so
he's a
quick, so
very
dynamic.
exciting player.
He's just got that profile of a player that will come to the Premier League and just adapt, and I think he will.
I think that as
Because
well.
with how physical, like, because for a small guy, he's actually pretty strong as well.
Yeah,
So
he's strong.
I
He's rapid.
think it's a good pickup for Villa, and I think he could do really well for some people's SO5 teams next year. Do you want to tell us about your next player?
I'm gonna follow you with another attacker as well, another forward.
Or,
Um, who I personally really like. The only thing is, I don't know if he will be starting. I'm talking about Leandro Trossard from Arsenal,
okay.
um, who, of course, for anyone that saw the final yesterday between City and Arsenal, yeah, he banged the goal in.
Mm,
And this guy just every time he has come off the bench last year for Arsenal, he has been a threat. He has been killing it, scoring goals, getting assists, just being really amazing. And I can see this guy playing as a striker this year because, of course, Arsenal have bought in Havertz, but Havertz just can't score. Like, I would
yeah,
rather see like a Saka, Trossard, and Martinelli strike first, because I really think Trossard is that lethal striker. He can shoot with his left, with his right, has the skills. Really solid guy. Only 28 years old as well. Um, bit expensive, 25 quid, but I just really think it's a good shout. Um,
so
I
I
can see
think
him smashing it at Arsenal this year
yeah, I think with Gabriel Jesus out for the first bit of the season,
as well. Yeah,
they could obviously drop Havertz back into the 8 role, which I know a lot of people have been speaking about, and it could leave a gap for someone like Trossard to come and fill in and play as sort of almost a striker. Um, so I don't know if I necessarily see that happening, but it's definitely an option. And with the injury of Jesus, it obviously opens him up to a bit more game time in that forward line anyway.
I mean it is a bit of an off shout, of course, but once this guy gets his game time and like proves it, he's gonna bang. I just believe in the guy. Even
Yeah,
if you like if you get rid of his subs, his average is 59.2, which is just a 6 score, and he really has the potential of getting those 80s 90s as well. So the peaks are there. He just needs to start, which is the only thing here. But
yeah,
that's but like once he does, you're guaranteed in for either a goal or an assist.
yeah. I'll move on to my second player of the video, and there's going to be a bit of a Tottenham bias as a Tottenham fan,
Okay,
so I'm going to try not to be too biased towards him.
is it
One
gonna
of
be
our
Mickey van de Ven?
No,
Oh, okay,
it's
okay.
going to be you've definitely got Van de Ven.
No, I don't. I
No,
don't. I don't.
um,
No.
but no, the player I'm going to put forward is Destiny Adogi.
Who? Destiny Udogi. I have
Yeah,
never heard of this kid. Oh,
so
under 23 as well. Okay,
so
just came in from
he
Udinese.
so we
Okay.
actually signed him last summer, and
Mm-hmm.
we loaned him back out to Udinese last season.
Interesting.
He's a really attacking fullback who's really comfortable on the ball, and like he played pretty much every game for Udinese last season. He's just so like versatile, comfortable on the ball, and you see how like in Ange's system those fullbacks like to sort of invert and play as a midfielder. I
Yeah.
think he will suit that so well because he's that good on the ball. Um, he's quick. He can cross. He can pass. He can even like pop up the goal. now and again, and he's probably going to be our starting left back next year, and we're going to be a very attacking side next year. Like you obviously know Ange, what he did at Celtic, and
Yeah,
how his style of play is implemented. Like he's doesn't care who he's playing against. He's all out attack, and someone like Adogi, I think, could come in and really thrive under that kind of system. He's under 23 till 2027, so he's only 20 years old, and he's 15 quid for a limited.
bro.
And
Even if he doesn't do well in his first season, you still have loads and loads of utility left with
but
him.
you look at, like, I don't know if you looked at his scores for
Yeah, I'm looking
Udinese.
at them now. Yeah,
Like he's got a lot of like good peaks on it. Like he's got his like he's typical fullback. Like he's got the bad games, but he has really
yeah,
high
of course.
peaks as well, which is very typical for a fullback on the SO5 matrix.
Honestly, I
Um,
reckon with the style that Spurs play, like once he comes in on the midfield, he can get like loads of tackles, interceptions, duels won and stuff,
mm,
which will suit his all around
he's
game very much. So
he's been really good preseason as well. Like he's been playing pretty much every minute preseason. Um, he's been really solid. Like he's definitely, I think, definitely going to be a starter over Perisic or Regalon. Um,
yeah,
just a very talented player, and a lot of like Italian football experts that I've spoken to have said he's so mature in the way he plays for his age.
oh, I mean that's already like a positive thing because the guy is
Mm.
20, and if he's gonna be a starter in the Premier League, you need to be like mature. You need to have like you
A
need
strong head.
to yeah, exactly. Like you need to be a man, and like your mental needs to be there because he's gonna face like players like Salah, Saka, and stuff like that. So he needs to be there. He needs to step up, and like he needs to be ready for the for all of those challenges.
Hmm.
But I think looking at his scores, like I see loads of greens for a fullback. Like I see a few decisives here and there, which is good. I see some AA game as well, and the fact that he's only 20 is good. I think it's a really nice shout. Of course,
He'd
you know
be
a lot about
he's a
him because you are the Spurs expert here. So yeah,
he's
interesting
a
shout, honestly.
perfect player for a cap competition as well. His L15 is only 43 at the moment. Um, so yeah, I think that's
Especially with those peaks, he can like if you pop him in like a 240 or a 220, and he just pops like an 86, like
it's
it's
done.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
really nice shout there.
we'll move on from Spurs for now.
And
And do you want to tell us
what
about
better way
your
to
third
move
player?
away from Spurs to your rivals? Let's move to Arsenal.
Are you an Arsenal fan or something? Because this
Again,
is the
I'm
second
not an
Arsenal fan.
Arsenal
Oh, come
fan. I'm
on.
not an Arsenal fan. This guy is just I know this guy really well because he just came from Ajax to Arsenal, and I think
Oh yeah,
everyone knows who I am talking about. I'm talking about Timber. Um, yeah,
had an
the kid is
absolute
just insane.
blinder in the community. Did you watch the Community Shield final?
Yeah, I did. I did. The guy,
Had an
he was
absolute
so
blinder.
good. Yeah, and he really fits the Arsenal system. He really fits the like Arteta ball it's called, and he's gonna smash it. I mean, of course, it's gonna be the Premier League. It's way tougher, way more intense than like the Eredivisie and stuff. But this guy is 22 years old, really mature, knows what is like what Arteta is asking from him. He's gonna absolutely smash it. I just know it. I just really like him. Of course, there's a bit of Ajax bias here because I've seen him play, but he's just good. He's just really good. Very mature. Never loses the ball. Knows how to go past the defender. If someone presses him, he's very calm. So he really suits the Arsenal system.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, I have him. I have him as part of my limited gallery. I got him in a trade, and I was sort of like a bit dubious as to, like, is he going to nail on a starting spot, or is he going to be a bit of a rotation option? But I think he comes in. I think he might be a starter.
I think so as well. I mean, especially after his performance yesterday. I mean,
He
I can see
deserves
him.
a chance.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I can see him getting like subbed off like after 70, 80 minutes. But
Hmm.
I think after this performance and after his preseason, because I heard from a lot of people that in preseason he was doing pretty well too. I think we can see him start this weekend against Nottingham for sure.
Mm. Yeah. I think it's a really good option and one that I probably would have put forward if I thought about it. Um, yeah, I can see him being really good in that Arsenal team, and Arsenal were looking a bit scary this year,
Yeah,
which is tough to
it's,
say. But
I think they've reinforced the positions that they needed to reinforce.
yeah,
The only thing they don't have is like a real striker. So I mean, we just have to wait and see what happens there. But overall, they have a really really strong squad and a
mhm,
strong bench as well this year.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm going to move on and talk about my next player, my third player, and it's a player that has been in the Premier League for a couple of seasons now, and I don't think he's quite lived up to his potential. But I think, like, if you look at him on the SO5 matrix, he can score really well, and it's Kanate
Oh yeah,
from Liverpool, and I think I'm a massive fan of him. Like, he's such a good defender. Like, I
he is really good.
I don't
Sometimes
know.
a bit clunky though, but I think Liverpool this year are looking scary, and if he manages to like actually be the starter defender next to Van Dijk, it's gonna be
Yeah,
insane. I think.
I don't see any reason to believe that he's not gonna fill that position. Personally,
No, I
I
think he
don't
will. I
know,
think he will.
but he you look at his scores like SO5 wise as well. He's also just so consistent. He racks up AA for days. Obviously, very few decisives, but like he can quite easily just score 35, 36 AA in one game.
I mean,
He
the
does it,
guy is a beast.
yeah. And I think I'm just a big fan of like him. I think he's a really, really good, talented centre back. Whenever I've seen Tottenham play against Liverpool, our forwards just struggle against him. Like it's like a bold shout, but he reminds me of a young Van Dijk. Like I do think he's that good. Maybe not quite as good on the ball, but his
Hmm.
physicality and like his presence on the pitch is just as good.
And I mean, the fact that he's only 24 as well, another very very young option here from you, which is really really nice. I mean, like last season, he showed his qualities, but he also had like a few stinkers. So
Yeah,
if he manages to get those stinkers out of his game and out of his system, and like actually starts the season with loads and loads of confidence, and Liverpool start winning the few like the first 2 3 games, then I think he's gonna absolutely smash it next to Van Dijk 100%.
yeah, for sure. So obviously has some utility for France as well. Does often play in that France team. So you do have some utility there as well. And what? How old is he now? Is
24.
24. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think he's a good option. So I feel like we're like, and we're going to end up talking for ages about every single player.
yeah.
So we'll move quickly on to your fourth player. If you want to tell us about who you've got
My
next.
fourth my fourth player is going to be a guy that loves to get yellow cards or red cards even. It's Casemiro from United. Um, might be a surprise on this list, but I was just looking at his SO5 scores and I was looking at the scores in the Prem, and if
Yeah,
you just average it, it's almost a 60 average, and like he's only 31 years old as well, which um, was a bit of a shock. I thought this guy was like 34, 35, but he's only 31.
yeah,
So
he's
lots of
good.
utility left there. And honestly, I think he really fits the Ten Hag system. Um, he's like the Kante of United. The only thing is this guy loves a card, a red card even sometimes as well, which takes a bit of utility away. But he knows how to score a goal. He knows how to give assist. He knows
He
how to get AA. As
he
long
has
as
a
he doesn't lose his temper, it's a good player.
he has a banger game in him as well. Like three almost 100 scores in the past sort of
Exactly.
like 6 months.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a good option, and mean, how much is he now? Like, he's only 22 quid. Like, for his kind of scores, like, I think that's you tend to find like a lot of Premier League players are, like, really overpriced compared to how well they
Yeah,
score. Like,
prem
I was
text.
talking to someone on Twitter the other day, and they wanted to buy Mason Mount. And
Hmm.
have you checked Mason Mount's price to how bad he
Give
scores?
me a second. Give me a second. I'm checking right now. Mason Mount, MM7, 30 quid.
So you could like Casemiro is more expensive than Mason Mount, um,
No, this
which
is actually
really
crazy.
which puts it into context. Really, like I think Mason
Yeah,
Mount could come in and do all right, but like Casemiro is the head and shoulders better option
for
to
sure.
pick up.
For like 10 quid less as well, definitely
Yeah,
pick up a Casemiro.
yeah. So
I mean,
I'll move on
I really
to
think I really
okay.
think everyone knows Casemiro already. So, like, he's just a
Yeah,
solid guy,
yeah,
top
definitely.
player. That's literally everything we need to say.
Everything we need to say about him. So I'll move on to my fourth player, and I'm gonna do. I want to come. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to Tottenham for this one. Another one of our
Another
new
Tottenham player.
signings.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry, the bias is out in full force, and it is James Madison.
Oh,
And
I
I'm
wanted
telling you,
to put him on my list
I'm
as well, but I didn't in the end.
okay. That's good. He's a bit pricey at the moment. Actually, just checking, he's like 40 quid, 50 quid
Are
full
you
price.
seeing that, bro? That spike is insane. Wow.
I think, yeah, it's because of how well he played against Shakhtar yesterday. He
Yeah,
dropped an absolute 10 out of 10. Like,
yeah.
he was
I saw
so good.
the highlights by accident on Twitter.
Yeah, he was ridiculous, and I just think he is the perfect player to play in that attacking number 8 role under Ange. And I think he's just going to be lights out. If Tottenham end up like getting Champions League, which I don't think we will, I would not be surprised if Madison ended the season on like 15 goals and assists, because we're going to score that many goals next year. He's going to be so influential in the way we play.
I mean,
And
you seem really confident.
yeah, I have a funny feeling about
I mean,
him.
honestly, if Spurs manage to keep Kane, which I think it's very likely now, he can get
Yeah,
loads and loads of assists in, loads and goals. Like, I feel a very good partnership there with Madison and Kane together. And then of
mhm,
course Sonny Boy, if he comes back with his quality left foot, right foot, and stuff like that, I think Spurs are going
yeah,
to score loads of goals, and I think Madison will be a big part of that
yeah,
Spurs attack for sure.
for sure. So, um, again, like he's a bit pricey now, but I think he's definitely.
He
So
will drop
I
down
would,
eventually.
yeah, I think he's just dropped a really good game. I think give the new season cards a chance to come out, and I think he'll probably come back down a little bit. But everyone's just buying into the hype of how good he's been playing pre-season. So, um, maybe don't buy him right now because I didn't realize he'd actually gone up that much. But definitely someone to keep an eye on. And like, if you could pick him up for 25, 30 quids, like as to what he was before this sort of like spike, I think you've got yourself a good option for a fair
I
price.
think that as well.
So, do you want to tell us about your last player?
Yes, sir. My last player on my 5-player Premier League list is Said Benrahma from West Ham.
Interesting, interesting.
I have been a fan of this guy since I would say like 2 years now, because this guy is just a baller. Like, he has the skills, he has the goals, the decisives to add to it. Now with West Ham as well, playing mid or like European football again. Um, he's just a really good shout. And like, maybe at first sight, if you look at his scores, you see a lot of oranges and a lot of yellows. It doesn't look that great. But if this guy becomes
Mm,
a nailed starter at West Ham, it's gonna be a fun season for him, because without subs, this guy scores 56.4 on average, and that's in the Premier League. And I think they won the Conference League or the Europa
yeah,
League.
yeah. The Conference League,
Um,
yeah.
so I think he's
I
gonna
mean,
be a very fun player to watch if he starts every single game, and even if he doesn't start from the bench, he can still score or give an assist.
so it only takes West Ham to have a better year, and he will
Exactly.
like have a better year as well. I am a bit dubious with West Ham. Like they've lost Skamaka, they've lost Rice.
Yeah,
They haven't really brought anyone in yet of that much quality, so I'm a bit concerned for them. But like
I can see
they're
why.
obviously a good side. If they can replicate the season they had a couple of years ago, there's no reason why Benrahma couldn't be an absolute baller, especially for like £9, which is what he's trading at the moment. So I think that's
Yeah,
a
true.
really interesting option. Like he's one of the players that I had for a long time that I used to use in cap competitions a lot. Um, I sold him a little while ago, but he's definitely an interesting option.
The
I think
like
he's a
one thing I really like about him as well is that he can get like a really nice peak of like 80 plus and sometimes even a 100 because he's that attacking. He just creates loads and loads of chances.
he's
So
on
if West
pens
Ham
as
manage
well.
to get like a good like a class goal scorer in, then it should be good.
He's on pens as well when he's on the
Yeah,
pitch. So that's also one thing to bear in mind that he will be taking pens probably next year. I don't see anyone that's come into the West Ham side who's going to take them off him. So that's also a really good. I think that's a really interesting option as well, actually, especially if you want to like pick someone up for like a Cap 240 rare side. I think he's perfect, like Cap
for Cap to
240.
40, yeah, 100%.
Like he is what you want. Like he's a player that will either score nothing and keep his average low, or he's going to bang you 80.
Exactly.
So I think it's a really good option. So I'll move on to my last player, and probably who I think is one of the most exciting players. Like if you ever watch him live,
Hmm.
uh, Eberici Eze.
Oh yeah,
He is
he's class. He is class.
he's had a really solid preseason with Palace, who a lot of people are expecting to maybe fall off next year and potentially be in a relegation battle. I don't see it personally. I still think they've got especially if they keep Elise, I think they've got enough quality there to have a really good season. Um, his rare card as well. I don't know if you noticed this. His rare card is so underpriced.
Yeah,
Like his
it's like
limit
200 quid, I think it is.
it's 170.
170 even.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. His limited is 29. His rare is 170.
Yeah, his
So
rare is really undervalued then.
yeah. So I his rare is one card that I have, and that's I mean I picked him up for about 145.
Ooh, even cheap.
Is that how much I
Oh,
got
his
him for?
spikes are amazing. I'm just having a quick look at the scores now. His spikes are amazing.
Yeah, yeah. How much did I buy him for? So I actually no, I bought him for 140.
Wow. Even better.
Um,
It
that was
just keeps getting better and better.
yeah, about 2 months ago, and he's now like his last sale, 159. So like I don't know how he's so cheap. If I'm honest with you.
I mean, I think the fact that he plays for Palace is like playing a big role in his price.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
like as you said, people are like thinking or like Palace, they will never be like a top six contender, if you know what I mean. Like they will always be like a mid team table, especially
it only
with their defense and midfield at the moment.
it only takes for him to get a move to a Man United. Like I think he'd have been a really good signing for Man United or even Tottenham if we didn't get Madison.
I
Um,
think as well. I think
he
this guy at United would have been a better signing than Mason Mount.
yeah, I mean, I would go out on a limb and I bet pretty much all the money I have that he will be playing for a top six side within the next 2 seasons. Like
I think that as
uh,
well,
maybe
especially if he manages to keep his streak going from the end of the season, then 100% he's playing at like a top team in the next two seasons.
yeah. Um, even see like potentially a Newcastle or just someone like that. I just he's going to go somewhere and he's going to have a really good career. Um,
I mean, he's only
I just
24, 25, so still lots and lots of years ahead for him as well.
yeah. So
And
also
maybe now
you're gonna have to
with the Zaha leaving, he might actually be the star boy in like attack.
probably going to be on pens next year.
Exactly. I think that
Depends
as
if they
well.
give him to Edouard because Edouard seems to be the main man. this year. But I think Eze's the guy there now. Eze's going to take Zaha's spot and be the guy at Palace.
I think it's a really, really nice shout there from you, honestly. Especially
Also,
the fact that that is really undervalued in the rare. Really,
yeah.
really nice.
Also, I'm really sorry. Like I've got like a really weird shadow that's just like
I
appearing
can
here.
see.
It's a really weird setup. Like anyone that doesn't know, I'm like house sitting at the moment, and this is like not my usual setup. So this is like sorry if this has been really annoying, like the whole video. But um, I've actually really enjoyed coming on and talking to you about some of the players you think are going to do well. Are you excited for the Premier League to come back?
I'm really, really excited, man. As a Liverpool fan, I think we have a nice year coming. So I'm really,
Yeah,
really excited to watch as much games as I can, like as
yeah.
many
I
games as
think you lot are going to have a much better year.
I can. Hopefully.
I hope we have a much better year, which I think we will under Ange. Um, but you never know, and we'll see how it turns out. And you've got Chelsea opening game, probably the biggest game of the opening weekend, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
it's gonna be tough, I think, but I think we will manage to to get like a 2-1 win, maybe.
yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Maybe. See, I think Chelsea will score. I'd probably go 2-2. I think it's gonna be tight. So I do think Chelsea will be
2-0.
good.
Oh, I mean, I would not be happy with a 2-0. We need those
You
3
need
points
to,
early.
but you've got some good You've got some good games, like first few games after the
Yeah,
Chelsea game.
yeah, we got Bournemouth, Wolves, Villa, I think so. Should be all right.
Yeah, definitely. So, I think we're going to leave it there for this video. Thanks for coming on and speaking to us again. And
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm sure I'll do some bits maybe on your channel in the future if you want me to come on and
100%.
speak to you. And then, yeah, as always, I'm going to leave a link to Salah's channel in the description as well. So make sure you go sub to him because he's an absolute legend after coming back on his holiday and popping onto records. I'm sure you're absolutely knackered. So I'm going to leave you to get some sleep and get ready and
Thank you, boss.
rested for the weekend. So, apart from that, guys, have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the sun. Peace.
Peace.